What's going on, everybody? Today we have some brake work to do on my Subaru Impreza. This is my daily driver. I haven't been driving it recently because there's a leak on the passenger rear of the car, somewhere up around in here, which kind of leads me to believe it's going to be one of the hard lines that's away from the wheel well back here, which I couldn't really find like a full line kit or anything for this car, so I may end up having to make my own line, which isn't that big of a deal, but we need to be able to take it apart and try and find out where this leak is actually coming from. The underside under here is all wet with brake fluid, so we'll take a look at that real fast. So I got the light set up under here so we can see, hopefully. But you can kind of see that whole plastic tray under here just like protects the bottom side of the fuel tank, I would assume. I've never actually taken that off, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to get that off and make room, or clear the way for doing whatever repair is needed down here. So, but like I said, very wet with brake fluid everywhere. What had happened, this car is driven all the time. I've never done any brake lines on this car. It's a 2010 and it's got like 240,000 miles. So that's a lot of miles on stock brake lines, especially in the Midwest where there's a lot of salt on the roads. So just like the Honda, this might be corroded and nasty under there. So we'll only know once we take that plastic guard off and actually take a look at the line and determine what kind of damage there is or what kind of happened. But the brake pedal basically went to the floor and lost all brake pressure. We're still able to stop the car once you get all the way to the bottom. It still grabbed because there was still a little bit of pressure up in the front, but you don't want to drive it like that for a long period of time. So my wife was driving the vehicle to work and I ended up having to go and pick her up, and I drove the car back home all the way across town like that, just following behind her in the truck. So if something happened, the worst that would happen is really I'd hit my own car trying to stop, or my own truck rather. So we got it home safely, just been sitting here. It's been probably 2 weeks at least, something like that. So I'm finally getting to this. I've been pretty busy with some other stuff going on, so we'll get digging into this and see how bad the damage really is. So if we take a look farther underneath here, there's a bolt right here. There's one in the center right there. And I would assume there's one right here. And there's maybe another one back there somewhere. So I'll try and get those bolts out. They are pretty rusty. I don't know if you can kind of see that. So hopefully they don't break off or anything. I'll just spray them with some penetrating oil and then hit them with the impact, and hopefully we can get those broke loose and drop this tray down real quick. All right, I got the plastic cover off of here and we're looking underneath. This is the parking brake line. So that's like a cable. So I'm not worried about that, but it's up underneath right here. So this is like a splitter or connection right here of brake lines. This bottom one is the one that goes to the passenger rear. Now this whole block does not look very good at all. It is very rusty on both sides, but I don't know if the leak is coming from this end. I don't think so. I want to say it's coming from up here. So this line goes all the way up there and it's pretty rusty and corroded, but the majority of the brake fluid or like residual fluid is on this area down here. So I don't know for sure where it's leaking, but I'm leaning more towards the line this way. So hopefully it's not that way, because it goes up and into like the frame back there. So it actually runs inside the car somehow. I have no idea where that would be. So I'm gonna do a little bit more digging, like in the service manual. I have a full book, and like see if I can find the rear line or just that section, and like how long it is potentially, because then I can just get like a straight line that's pre-flared with fittings on it and just do the loops and stuff in there myself. And I don't know how difficult that is gonna be to like get that broke free in there, but that is very rusty under there. And yeah, I'm gonna spray that down with penetrating fluid and just leave it sit. I'll probably do that in the next couple of days, and then I'll try and check back in sooner than that and just kind of see if I can get that line to break free. I'm not even gonna try and do that right now. I'm gonna let that sit and soak. All right, so I had my wife help me try to bleed this corner with the brake system just to try and find out where that leak actually is underneath. So you can only do so much when there is a leak in a line. It'll start hissing, but hopefully you can get enough fluid to push through to actually kind of show you where that leak is. So good news, we did find out where that leak is, and it is on the back side of that splitter box I was showing you underneath there. So I have to then remove this line out from back here to that splitter box thing and try and get an overall dimension or length, because there's a 30-inch at a local parts store, but I need to find out what flare it is on this line to hopefully have that match and see if this one is longer or shorter than a 30-inch. If it's longer than 30-inch, I'm not going to be able to use that. If it's 30 inches or shorter, this one, then I can use that other line. It's just a one straight piece. I'll just have to try and bend it and match the, bends and position of this one the best I can, or just kind of feed it through how I need and just bend it as I go. So we'll try and do that real quick. I need to break this one free, or this fitting up on the top side where this rubber line is, and then I'll try and break the other one free down there. It's been soaking a couple of days in penetrating oil, so hopefully it comes out pretty easy and we don't have it breaking, because I want to keep it in one piece. Kind of like the Honda Civic. If you didn't watch that video, go and check that one out. I started loosening up brake lines and it was actually tearing the brake line clean off. So hopefully we don't have that issue with this. These lines don't look quite as bad as the Honda did, but you never know how corroded something really is until you start twisting on it. So we'll grab the 10mm and try and start loosening up this top side up here real quick, because it's right out in the open. So I'll just start moving it a little bit at a time to try and break those threads free just ever so slightly, a little bit at a time, and hopefully we can get this removed, no issues. I got my just slightly opened wrench, so there's 4 or 5 little points that connect rather than having it just a regular U shape. Slide that right over, try and get it on there nice. Oh, that's nice and tight. Maybe try and get this on there a little bit different position if I can. Now that I have it loose, or just enough, which I think no, it didn't break the line. It just broke the threads free, so just wiggle it back and forth a little bit, try and get some of that penetrating oil moving down in there. Get a little more on there if you can, and hopefully you can kind of work a little bit more of that lubricant down in there. Now it's starting to free up a little more, get more movement in it with more penetrating oil on there. Re-grab, get a fresh bite. Do it a little bit again. Get this fitting off of here. Now that we have that line free floating in here, now we have to go underneath and try and figure out if there's any other plastic clips. There's one right up next to where the fitting attaches here. We'll try and find if there's any other plastic clips, get them broke loose, and then get that 10mm down there wiggled free. It's a lot dirtier down there. Hopefully we don't have issues getting that nut off of there. All right, after a little bit of finagling under there and heating up that fitting with a torch, just make sure you're being careful with that, because it can create some smoke, which if it's creating smoke, it could potentially create some fire. Didn't have that happen, just kind of going a really small flame, making sure the area is clean and dry prior to heating that up, and just kind of just hitting it off and on with some heat. And then I used my screwdriver as like an impact and kind of tapped on the fitting to try and work the threads loose. I ended up getting the fitting broke free, but it did rip the line off. Not that big of a deal, it's right on the end. That's only a 1/2 inch long, so we can add that to the total length here. And then when trying to pull it out, this bend right here broke off. Now, the majority of these lines are covered with a rubberized coating so that it doesn't see any salt or anything like that. But the couple of areas where that's not there, like right here, it's bare material, so that is rusty and it broke. And then down on the bend and where the fitting is, those were not covered either. So now I'm going to lay this on the ground, take some measurements of how long this actually is. I'm guessing it's going to be pretty close to 30 inches. I'm not gonna route it exactly how this was, so as long as I have a ballpark and it's 30 inches or less, I think we'll be in the clear. Almost 36 inches with all the bends. Now, I think I can minimize the distance there, kind of how this is positioned in here, by removing some of the bends, because I don't need to go back in towards, you know, the back side of the fuel tank. I can go straight down and follow kind of where the handbrake cable is, rather than a bunch of all these bends. Bends and straights make up more length, and we don't need all those bends, so we can eliminate that kind of a crossover. I did bend this by mistake pulling it out, so it kind of went like that. Like, we don't need that bend right there. We can go straight across and cut out probably, I'd say 8 inches through here and around where this bend is. And then again, where this one is, we can kind of cut that out and go straight across, probably lose another inch right there. So if we went basically like straight along, I think we can make a 30 work. Unfortunately, we do need to have this bend right here for where it mounts up for the caliper. So I'm gonna go and pick up that line, and I'm just gonna kind of hold it in here straight, follow down where this hard mount arm is and go right above that and see how close we can get it, just leaving it straight. If it seems like it's not gonna work, we can always return that line. I do need to bring this piece of the fitting because it has the flared end in there, so I can confirm that it's the right line when I'm at the parts store. All right, went and grabbed the 30-inch line, fittings, and the flare is the correct way. So what we're gonna use to get this first bend is a socket or the roll or radius for it. So we'll try and match that the best we can because it needs to come up and then basically straight back down. The length is gonna be pretty close, but I think we'll be able to make it work. I'm really hoping we can anyways, and we'll maybe cut out a little bit just by going straight. I'm hoping that's gonna be enough to where we can make that reach. The block down there isn't like hard mounted, so we might be able to wiggle the other lines and hopefully not disturb them to create leaks on the other lines. So we'll start off with this line, this 30-inch 3/16 with the fittings and pre-flare on it is PA 330. So pick this up at O'Reilly's right down the road for me. So hopefully we'll be able to get this thing to work. So what we're gonna do is try and match this the best we can. I'm maybe not gonna run quite as much of a straight right here. I wanna bend it basically right after the fitting. So we'll just grab the socket right here, or even start it just a little bit, just with my hands, and then try and get that socket to hold here and roll it around. So we don't want to kink it, we want it to roll, which that socket's going to be a little hard because there's not a lot to grip on this end. I'll just use my thumb. You know, it's really close to the shape. I think the radius or the distance there is going to be pretty close. I wanted it tighter in the fit to the fitting, but I don't think I'm going to make it there. Trying to hold this side and squeeze and use the length with leverage. Now, I want to be real careful that we don't actually kink the line. It's looking okay so far. Almost to the same bend profile. Go just a little bit more here, but a little past where that radius is. It's getting even closer there. Real close. Just take your time when you're trying to bend a line and shape it. I don't know if we're gonna go quite as far down that way. I kind of want to leave it straight how I have it to make a straighter shot towards that next, splitter box down there. So I'm gonna maybe try and fit that in position here. Just give kind of an eyeball where we gotta go and bend this next part. If I try and feed that in and just thread it a little bit. I have to maybe go about right here. Take this out, start bending it there. Bend it back this way. It's maybe a little farther down and away from it, but it's pretty close to that same height or distance there. We're just bending it in a little bit different area. Try and thread it back in just a little bit again. Gonna want to bend that some more in that section. Try and follow the frame rail of the car. But now I need to bend it back down towards the center of the car. So kind of how we're sitting here, this needs to start to bend this direction. So we're just gonna go right here and try and bend that current bend and almost like twist it. So now we're coming off to the side right there. And I get curving towards the center a little bit and follow down this frame rail the best we can. So I'm gonna play with this a little bit and I'll check in just a minute. All right, I got the line all fitted in there, all bent how I need it to fit and not rub on anything metal. And both of the fittings are snug and tight. Next step would be to bleed this side or bleed all the brakes, really, because I know there's probably air in everything. So we'll start in the back side, but we'll do that in a little bit. I'll show you what we're looking at for the line placement. So when you look in here, I got it pretty much back in the same position, minus, getting it in this clip. It's not gonna move anywhere though. It's pretty solid. So kind of just a small bend here, little bit here, coming back towards the frame rail, touch of a bend right here, a small one right here. It's gonna rub maybe just a tiny bit on this rubber casing of the parking brake. So that's not that big a deal. I mean, I could probably push it upwards a little bit and it not rub quite so bad, but I don't want to push it to the point where it'll rub on this metal bracket right in here. You don't want metal on metal, so I'm gonna maybe have to play with that a little bit. And then when you come down here, I got a slight bend right here, little one going back, and then another one kind of curving into this splitter block. So we're all secured in here. I think that line is gonna work. And then, yeah, we just gotta bleed it and make sure all the brakes work properly. And that's gonna do it for the Subaru brake line replacement. Pretty simple, just to do this one line. Sometimes you have to go a little bit more challenging of a route and shape that line out of a straight line yourself. This one was pretty easy. There wasn't much there to work around. It's kind of just a nice straight shot where I needed to go. So sometimes you gotta do that. Sometimes you gotta just make things work the best you can. This line was only maybe $13, so it's relatively cheap. You could probably get this exact line for the Subaru from Subaru directly, but you're probably gonna pay quite a bit higher price for that because it is straight from the dealership. So that's gonna wrap it up for today. If you like this kind of content, hit that thumbs up, subscribe. Thanks for watching.